also have other senior colleagues with whom we are in the FDC. I will, if time will allow, introduce them. And then we'll give an introduction note before I invite General Muntu to speak to you. So let me start by asking colleagues, members of parliament who are here to introduce themselves and they tell you which constituencies they represent. So I'll start on my left.
I'm Gerald Karahanga. I represent the people of Muntu municipality.
I'm Robert Centenary. I represent the people of Kasese municipality.
I am Emmanuel Onyeko Obonyo. I represent the people of Jonam constituency in Pakwach district.
Angelina Sega, I represent Soroti district.
Semji Ibrahim, I represent the people of Chira.
Winnie Kiza, I represent the people of Kasese district.
Oyet Simon, I represent the people of Noya County, Noya district.
Ibrahim Kasozi, I represent the people of Martin East.
I will continue that way. I'll ask other colleagues who are here. There are not many. They can introduce themselves. You just stand up and say your name. And
Juliana Jackson, Chairman FDC Hoima.
Jita Alex Mulibanga, Deputy Secretary Mobilization FDC Uganda.
Nalongo Nasimbwa Hamida, Vice Chairperson Women League, Central Region.
My name is Idi Ouma. I am the National Youth Leader of the Forum for Democratic Change.
Zerida Kakai, the Vice Chairperson Youth Eastern.
Sheikh Aturamu, Secretary for Ethics, Culture and Religious Affairs.
Ismail Karamba Chizwe, North Council and Baga South.
Ismail Kasure, National Vice Chairperson of the FDC Youth League. Toro Andrew, FDC Maturity.
Namteliteo, Martin, the Vice Chairperson.
Obedi Salundoji, Mobilizer, Machine District.
Chazeka Sumo General Secretary, Machine District. You Mahaji Martin, Deputy Secretary for Defense, Secretary Internal Affairs, Radu Bere FDC in the District Chairperson.
And the former Deputy Treasurer General of Chita. Kaya Rajab Sema, National Vice Chairman of FDC.
Now that we are done with introductions, this press briefing has been occasioned by a lot of information that is circulating. First, about General Muntu as our leader after the Nambole 24th FDC Delegates Conference. This particular Delegates Conference, I have said, and this press conference is going to be addressed by General Muntu. So what I'm saying doesn't represent what he's going to say. I have had the occasion to tell people it was not a competition between personalities. It was a competition between methods of work and the direction we need to take as we fight to free ourselves. I have learned as a person from General Muntu that when you are fighting a dictator, fighting is as important as the time after winning the war. Because the moment you win the war and you can't provide good governance, you will have lost both. Of course, I am not as lucky as him that he had an opportunity to be in the government. I have never been there. So the desire to be there sometimes blind many people not to believe that going there is not the end in itself. So the moment you go into government, what you will do is very important. I have given an illustration. The Free Democrats in Germany, they were in discussions of forming a coalition government with Angela Merkel's political party. And they disagreed on the main principles one of their leaders, they are concluding their discussion, said, we would rather not govern than to govern badly. And I keep saying that. Even us in the opposition in Uganda, we would rather not win government if we win and mess up the country like M7 and his group are doing. So we must prepare for both. Continue fighting, but also prepare to provide Uganda with a better government that is going to make them happy. So therefore, after Nambole, we must make that distinction. And without wasting time, please allow me to invite General Muntu.
There are two colleagues who have arrived.
There are two colleagues who have just joined. I'll ask both of them to introduce themselves, and then General Muntu will speak to you.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Adeke Anna Ebaji, National Female Youth MP.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Pastor Sandra Ngabo.
There is Jackson.
Yes.
Good morning. I'm Moses Nkalubelega, China District Chairperson.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Moses Abon, the chairman, FDC Gulu Municipality.
Good morning, FDC. I'm Mustafa Chito, publicity mobilizer, youth in China District.
Good morning, colleagues. I'm Jackson Mbaju. I represent the people of Busongora Town, Kasese District.
Because of the rain, we should have been here at the same time. Let me take the opportunity to invite General Muntu to speak to you. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, the press corps, we thank you for being here this morning. Fellow Ugandans, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for all the support you showed us during our campaign over the last 3 months. We traveled all the regions of the country and were overwhelmed by the amount of passion and determination Ugandans have to change the political fortunes of our country. During the course of the campaigns, it became very clear to us that the political culture that has been established by the regime is not only detrimental to our development as a nation, but also very unpopular. People are tired of politicians lying, cheating, pretending and selling to them hot air. Ugandans are ready for change, and with a little more organization and grassroots mobilization, we can all be part of that change. As I speak to you today, doctors have just called off a strike because of horrible working conditions. Public prosecutors are on strike because of poor working conditions. The number of decent jobs available are declining. Crime is rising, and Ugandans are being plunged deeper and deeper into desperation. In the midst of these challenges, the only thing General Museveni is interested in is changing Article 102B of the Constitution to allow him to stand in 2021 and changing the land laws to disadvantage the already disadvantaged Ugandans. In light of these facts, I would like to announce that starting next week, we will be going back to doing what we were doing before the campaigns began. Joining hands with all like-minded Ugandans and partners in building the structures and networks necessary to resist General Museveni's attempts to change our constitution and to empower Ugandans to take back their country. Specifically, we are going to be doing the following. 1, mobilizing all Ugandans to participate in the election of LC1 chairpersons and women councils as and when these elections take place. 2, encourage, support, and mentor pro-change Ugandans across party lines to offer themselves as candidates in these elections as and when they take place. 3, mobilize Ugandans across party lines to pressure government to drop their efforts of changing the provisions of our constitutional provisions on presidential age limits and land. Lastly, I know that there are many among you that have been asking me about the recently concluded party elections. As I stated on Saturday morning, I fully respect the outcome of our party's elections and congratulate the new party president. It is also clear that there are significant and undeniable issues and differences that exist within the party. Some emerged during the campaigns, while others have been long-standing. There are some who feel these differences are irreconcilable, while there are others that feel that they can be resolved. The only way to know what is true is for us to have a frank, open, and exhaustive discussion about this, not just with the newly elected FDC leadership, but with other stakeholders right from the grassroots to the national level. We intend to pursue this consultative process, and we'll have an opportunity to start it on Friday this week, 1st December, when I officially hand over office at Naja Nankumbi. Regardless of the outcome of these consultations, I would like to reiterate this to Ugandans. Let us all put the interests of the country ahead of personal or even party interests. Let us focus our efforts on doing whatever we can to build a Uganda we can all be proud of, a country that truly offers each of her citizens the opportunity to prosper, access justice, and be united in our diversity and just. It is a vision I've worked towards ever since I was 23 years old. And by God's grace, it will be the vision I work towards for all my working days. God bless you, and God bless this beautiful nation we all call home. Thank you, and God bless you.
If there are questions, we will take them. If there are no questions, we will thank you and have the press conference closed. Yes.
Thank you very much. My name is Mbara Mukabo. I work for Urban Television. I must say I'm a bit disappointed.
Why?
I thought we've been hearing about escalating from the Democratic Party. About the beef between you and Dr. Kiza Besiki. The camp was saying, this camp they were saying that because you openly told him about his intrigue during the last campaign, that it's the one that led to your loss as a president. I'm wondering whether you are still a member of the FDC or I want to be clear about
We'll answer, one question at a time. So you ask your answer and then we'll move on.
There is a lot of debate all over the country about what is happening within FDC, which in itself is healthy. And as I've already indicated, there are a number of issues that we will need to discuss. Within the party, they are not only restricted to the party. Looks like many Ugandans are also involved in that conversation. We don't intend to rush to make any decision. One, the consultations that we are going to make, we want to ensure that by the time we make any decision, that it is not going to be a decision out of emotion, out of a sense of frustration. Because we are dealing with matters of life or death. Some people take politics easy. Some people choose to say whatever they say without bothering about the implications of what they say or about the implications of what they do. We're in a country where for 54 years we've been at times involved in bloodletting. There have been killings in the 60s, in the 70s, in the 80s, because of carelessness on the part of politicians, mostly leaders. So when decisions are being made, you must be careful in the manner in how you make decisions, more so when you get at times what may be seen as crossroads. So we don't intend to rush anything. We are going to be discussing with all stakeholders. We don't intend to do anything in secret because there's nothing to hide. We are going to keep whatever we will be carrying out, whatever discussions we'll be conducting with the party leadership so that they are aware. There's absolutely no reason why we would not do anything in a transparent process. That's what we intend to do. And at the end of the consultative processes, which I believe will maybe most likely go through the whole of December, we also don't want to rush and make any decision. I believe by the time we go through the whole of December, we'll have reached out to as many of our colleagues, as many Ugandans, we'll have listened to different voices, and then make whatever decision would need to be made. So we are not in a rush. Two, there's nothing personal in all this, as I hear you naming names. I don't think this is anything about myself. For example, as you were saying about Dr. Vesey, I don't think it's anything about us. I think there are certain dynamics which are unfolding in this country. And we need to critically examine them. For us, we are just simply participants in those unfolding dynamics, whether within the party, whether it is outside the party. So we want to make an informed decision whenever we make that decision, and through a carefully considered process. So I would like to ask all our colleagues all over the country to keep calm. Decisions of this nature don't need to be made in a panic or in a state of anger or in a state of frustration, because it affects people's lives, whatever decision we make. Because unfortunately many people are only focused on the immediate thing, the removal of a dictatorship. Yes, it's important, but there are issues beyond the dictatorship. So we'll have to engage in all this, internally, externally.
Are you still a proud member of the FDC?
How would I be going to Najanankumbi if I wasn't?
Yes, Muchivi.
Thank you so much. My name is Dr. Muchivi of the General Mukwan is asking, in what capacity are you going to follow up this mobilization that started soon? Are we not seeing another parallel structure or leadership in FDC, the government has put in place at Katonga Road, during the president? And another question goes to the law. In the time of, I don't worried about the position, because in 2013, when the Muntu came in, we found that he made a shuffle, and we saw Naribonadara Masai going out. Are you not seeing Engineer Amuriat bringing in somebody new? He had told him, Honorable Nandara is one enough
Maybe I can first answer mine. Though the press conference was not for me, it was for General Muntu. I wouldn't have really loved that those questions that are ours would come during our press conferences. But what I can say is that that office is not person to holder. I'm the fourth leader of the opposition, and I believe I did not come to sit there forever. As FDC, no. If it was for 5 years, we would have maybe would be talking about only third leader of the opposition. As FDC,
for information purposes,
yes,
none of the LOPs has ever served more than 2.5 years.
The only person who served for more than 2.5 years was Honorable Latigo. But you can also understand he was involved in an accident, and someone was just taking part on, was acting on his behalf. So really it would have been unfair to push someone out when he's in bed. So we have been carrying out these changes. I wouldn't want someone to take it that because Amriat has come in, that is why Winnie has gone out of the office. It is an office that I was ready to leave after 2.5 years. If it was that they would extend it, well, I would welcome the extension, but I was ready when I took up that office to serve for 2.5 years and I leave. I was prepared. So it's not that maybe there is a new leadership, that's why Winnie is going out. No, I'm ready to go.
Before General comes in, what is personal to me, the issue of the leadership in Parliament was also an issue in the campaign in the last 3 months. Our colleagues, one of the crimes they accused General Muntu of having committed was to put leaders in Parliament. In fact, for me, I've been waiting for them to come and disband us. I am still waiting. Because they said it is useless to have leadership in Parliament, I am waiting to be disbanded.
Not for them to rush for this.
No, I'll be carrying out these consultations, one as one of the senior leaders of the party, but also in my capacity as a free citizen. Yeah. However, whatever we do, it will be in the open. That's how we operate. It will be a transparent process. In fact, I intend to be briefing Honorable Oboi about every step that we'll be taking. Because even at the end of the process, whatever the outcomes of the process, I will intend to discuss with the Honorable Oboi and the other senior leaders whatever decision it would be. Because politics is not a private affair. We are not running our own personal businesses. It's a public affair. Certainly, well, I don't know how other people operate, but that's how we operate ourselves.
Yes.
I don't know about Katonga Road, but I can guarantee you that there is nothing that we are going to do in secret. Everything will be open, transparent, and we'll keep the leaders aware of whatever we would be discussing. We'll also be telling them of the outcomes, because at the end of the day, parties are a critical factor in the governance of any country. Parties are the vehicle through which governance is conducted. And therefore, every time that there are improvements in the parties, even if parties separated, but that even if people separated from parties, but that the outcomes or the offshoots all become democratic, and they believe in values that we talk about as politicians: equality before the law, the rule of law, constitutionalism, democracy, transparency, focusing on developing a country to the benefit of all. That benefits a country at the end of it all. There is a deficit of good parties on this continent. So if there are many parties which subscribe to certain values, not by word of mouth, but in practice, it would certainly be good for the country.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, gentlemen. My name is Derek Pandera from the Daily Morning. Hearing you well, you are going to make consultative meetings to make a decision, to come up with a decision. Now, does this come because you've lost the election, and does that mean you have the option, or you are considering leaving the party as one of the decisions that you're making? The other question is, we have heard that Honorable Amriat is going to call you for a discussion with him on reconciliation. Are you considering to attend the meeting?
I've already talked to him. He's not the one who has talked to me. I have no problem with the Honorable Oboy. I'll be open to him all the time. Wherever he needs any advice, I'll give him the advice. I am a very transparent person. I am a Democrat. I'm an honest person. Everything I do is above board. So in whatever I do, I'll be looking at how FDC can be improved. If I get a feeling that it can be improved, I am someone who never gives up. Even if I was operating anywhere else, even if I was to completely retire from politics, I would still be ready to give advice to those who would be in politics to ensure that the parties that they are operating within become better and better. Because at the end of the day, this country is only going to be run by political parties unless the constitution is changed. And then you can get Kasita running government.
Oh, border 2010.
Yes. Thank you very much. My name is Kenneth Bukwaga. I work with the Radio 1. General, I had an opportunity to talk to Patrick Amri at the ball. I know you're hinted, but I wanted you maybe to elaborate more. He's actually thinking of appointing you in an influential position. That's what I said. And he thinks you can play an advisory role, and he actually thinks you should be a member of a new party elders council that he intends to set up. First of all, we want to know if you are willing to take up that kind of position, aware of the backlash that happened during the campaign, where some people actually branded you as a mole, and whether you actually think that kind of advice you will render will help you with the party or not. Then, of course, during this process, after you lost the election, there are people who have approached you. I'm aware that some people have written to you, and that some people have called you, and they have suggested something called the third force. People actually think that you can mobilize like-thinking minds to be able to present a third force that is more acceptable, that can be able to pull from either side to actually bring about the political change. There are people who believe that the opposition, the way it is, it cannot, and the NRM also is not willing to do so. Is this something that you are also consulting about? Is this something that you're actually thinking about? And what do you think about that idea? Those people are espousing those views are actually think that political parties alone cannot work, and therefore perhaps we should borrow a leaf from the Kenyan experience, the politics of alliances. Thank you.
One, let me do a correction. It's not Honorable Oboy who's going to establish that council. It was a decision made by NEC about 3 years ago. When, unfortunately, when the delegates conference was doing amendments in the constitution, they made that council elective. So we discussed it in NEC and said there's no way you can be trying to have the services of elders and then you require them to go and compete for such a position. I mean, there's no way you can go and ask, for example, Honorable Anang Odur and say, you come and compete to become an elder. Or Honorable Ushega or Honorable Wandela Ugalo. So he said this doesn't make sense. So we again discussed within NEC and we proposed an amendment which was adopted, that council should not be elective, it should be appointive. So that's what it will be. So it's not as if it is anything new. And I believe there are going to be many elders once they are brought on board who can advise. That's one. Two, in the course of consultation, there are many things we'll be looking at. We'll be looking at the internal dynamics within the party. That's when we'll be discussing with the party leaders. But also be looking at the dynamics outside the party itself, in the public. So we are going to have consultations across the board, and then make a decision. Whatever that decision is going to be, we don't know yet. I mean, we cannot anticipate the outcomes of such a consultation because we're just about to begin. So we all just need to be patient until we get to that point. We'll have to cross that bridge when we get to it.
General, maybe just a follow-up. You did not actually say whether you'll be one of the elders. Should he appoint you? You say there are so many elders who would be definitely...
By virtue of offices held, because another proposal was, there are certain offices by virtue of, once you hold that office and you leave that office, then automatically you become part of that council. So it wouldn't be even a question of appointment. It would be a question of, by virtue of the office you have held, because I believe one of the offices in that is the presidency.
Maybe just lastly for me, you insist on engaging through the party. And of course we know there's a backlash about what people are calling ideology. The defiance versus organization. That's what I've heard people say. You are an organization man, and the other side thinks about defiance. People want to understand, how do you reconcile the two? How will you actually be able to work within that sort of arrangement where your views are not acceptable, where the other group actually thinks your views and manner of operation has actually killed the party?
Well, I don't know how Honorable Boy is going to handle it, but at least I have an experience of how we handle it. We had contending tendencies within the party, and I must say that we handled it well, because on Friday I'm going to handle a party which is intact. I'm going to hand it over to Honorable Oboy, and all these tendencies were there. So I don't know how they are going to handle it, because at least the campaign platform was that there is going to be only one strategy. I don't know how that is going to be in practice. During my time, I recognized that there are different tendencies. I did not believe that there is any way you can suppress one tendency. I believe that the only way you can successfully manage a party and it becomes cohesive and it remains stable is to recognize that fact as a reality and then manage them. But when you determine that there can only be one strategy, in reality I don't know how that works. I will just have to wait and see.
So, just a second. So, what question was it not answered?
The first question was, the consultative meetings are geared from the fact that you are considering to quit the party, or considering making a decision to leave the party or remain in the party.
I didn't get the question.
The question is, you are going for consultative meetings.
Yes.
And the decision definitely has to be taken.
Yeah.
Does this mean the decision might actually be leaving the party or
strengthening it? Why do you keep veering towards one side?
What are the alternatives?
I believe, to be honest with you, colleagues, I believe in honesty in the manner in which politics is conducted. Unfortunately, we have not reached there yet. It is healthy to have debates internally within an organization, even externally in a country like Uganda, where the political dynamics are unfolding. Since Saturday, if you follow what's going on in public, you clearly see that even the public, those who are outside FDC themselves, have been sucked into this debate. So that means that there are certain dynamics which are unfolding in this country. I don't think they're only in FDC. The feeling I get is that they are across the whole country. So we have got to listen and understand, how do we handle this? One, as a party, or all political actors who are involved in the change process. So we listen very carefully, and we'll be open to discussions with our colleagues. The only disappointing thing is as political actors in this country, we seem not to realize that you can have disagreements but manage them in a civil way. That's why I get a bit of a problem. Because every time there seems to be a disagreement, then people tend to go into the trenches and start fighting. I can't understand that. Because at times political differences are legitimate, and if you engage them in a healthy way, you can end up having a resolution of whatever challenges there are, whether it is within the party, whether it is within the country. However, we cannot be scared of controversies. We are never scared of controversies because we are focused on the end state. And the end state is that we must have good governance in this country. That's the bottom line. There are no compromises on that. Anything in between, there is flexibility on anything in between. On the end state, there can't be.
I think the question seems to be raising the same issue. So what we are going to do, let's have 4 more questions, and then we need to wrap it up because they seem to be on the same thing. You take the first opportunity, the second one, where are ladies? Yes, you take the third one, and then the final one. So the one coming first, please. It's okay.
My name is Nicholas Percival. I run traffic.
Speak up, man.
There is a woman here who is complaining that you are talking like a woman. So please, can you raise your voice a bit?
Actually, he left us. We didn't leave him.
When you lost an election, clearly say you apologize for the section of
Whose time you have wasted?
Come again?
Whose time you have wasted?
Well, like you say, people outside have been suffering.
Let's try to keep it short.
Why does people operate in environment where you don't trust them? So in the case of
No, the question is good. So let's not make it a conversation.
in the course of your concentration, I thought you happened to interact with this section of the NIA people who say, you know what, now we are tired of politics here. Please come back home.
That is it.
No, that one is absolutely out. You know, the issue of having a new party is not new. We have lived with it over quite a long period of time. There are people who keep saying, you people start a new party. Even when, by the way, in 2004, when we formed FDC, you know there were 3 different groups. There was PAFO, there was NDF, there was Reform. There are many people who at that time told us, those of us who were in PAFO, and said, you start a new party. Forget about joining with others, just start a new party and build it. But we said no. The dynamics in the country right now require that we create a formation that is going to bring all of us together, and we put a common front. And we did that. I mean, there was a resistance in a number of quarters, but we cut through that resistance and we ended up forming FDC. I know for sure, and I have said so many times, I even tell colleagues internally, even if now there was to be a separation and you find 1 or 2 or 3 parties starting, let me tell you that the dynamics within those parties would be no different from what we see in the parties currently in place. Why? All actors within the different parties are products of our culture since 1962. The only difference is if there is a party which has got the capability to manage the internal contradictions and create stability on a sustained period of time and refocus the minds of the leaders who are in there and eventually build a critical mass of people who are looking the same direction, who subscribe to the values that we all talk about on platforms but which we never put into practice. Once a party like that achieves that, then it will lead the way for others to follow. And then eventually we can have quite a number of parties which stand for the values they talk about. As we speak now, many of us who are politicians, really, to be honest with you, if you follow us over a period of time, you'll find that many times we say one thing, we do something different. That's our national culture. And that's what we are contending with. We're not contending with individuals. We are contending with that culture. So the party which will, I think, be able to pull this country, or the parties which can pull this country of the mess in which we are the parties which will concentrate on changing that culture, building a new culture within the party, because they have built a critical mass of leaders who think alike and also who act consistently to what they talk about. So it's a challenge. So don't look at individuals. Change the culture, and then the individuals will be influenced also to change. But unfortunately, most people are focused on us as individuals, which is understandable. We will reach a point where people will look beyond individuals and look at what influences the individuals to do whatever they do.
The one coming in number 2.
My name is Nick Abachayo, the observer. At Nambole, the most of the delegates rejected because you are, when you are running the party, you were tolerant to those who believed in defiance and those who subscribed to the compliance. That approach was rejected in Nambole. Most of the delegates believe that defiance is the only way that FDC should run. What is there to negotiate? Yet what you are offering was rejected, and you seek to bring the same by negotiating with them to accept your ideas. What is there to negotiate?
We are not going to be negotiating anything with anybody. We are going to be discussing. I mean, look, we are living in the same country. Right now, many of us are sucked into what is happening just within FDC. And we seem not to realize that we are heading towards a possible crisis in this country. Where we are heading the next 2, 3, 4 years, I don't think anybody can say with certainty that there is going to be a smooth change. Yet change will happen. That's one thing I'm absolutely sure about. There will be change. But how will it happen? How will it be managed? We don't want to face a crisis that we are unable to handle as a people. We don't want to go through another phase of bloodletting. So we must keep discussing all these issues, and that's why I hope that people will act in good faith. The problem is that many of us act from a negative mindset. If there is a controversy, then you react negatively. It doesn't help. If there is a controversy, engage in it with a positive mind, as of looking for a solution out of whatever challenge there is, whether it is within the party, whether it is within the country. Because if there is a crisis, a national crisis, it will suck all of us in. It doesn't matter whether you are FDC or DP or UPC or NRM. It doesn't matter. We are going to discuss, not to negotiate, my friend.
Yes, number 3.
Consultative meetings.
There's a debate. There are people that support you and think your political future is not in FDC because of the differences that you're talking about.
I think the question is clear. How will he handle the two? How will he reconcile the? Yes. It is clear to the one who is going to answer.
I wish I could give you an easy answer. In the situation in which we are, there is no easy answer. It's tough. It's very tough. And that's why we have to make wide consultations. It's tough. If it was only myself as an individual, I never find it difficult to make hard decisions in my life. I make them, whether people understand me or don't, I keep moving. I'm not an individual. I just have many colleagues that I work with. I have to listen very carefully. I have to listen very carefully. So I don't have an easy answer to that. But with time, as time unfolds, we'll get a deep understanding of the challenges we are faced with and how to make decisions even amid such a complex situation.
No. Let's first finish the one who was number 4. You can come 5.
He's on defiance.
Yeah.
Just also seeking clarity. Just a few days ago, you said there was an environment of mistrust in the FDC. What new faith have you found that there will be trust when you sit to have consultations with this other arm of FDC that has a different idea, a different understanding, a different culture? What new trust do you have that dialogue is doing something positive?
At an individual level, I can almost operate in any environment. I mean, I've operated in a very... Maybe let me leave that. We have to persistently keep engaged with our colleagues. Because the manner that makes them maybe think the way they think, or the reasons why they think the way they think, if the conditions change, they could think different. And we are going to be around in this country, whether we're in one party, whether we're in 2 or 3, that's not the question. We are all going to be here in this country. So why not create an environment where we feel comfortable with each other? Whether we're in one party or 2. Because ultimately that's the objective. Is that not so? That we create a political environment in this country where everybody feels comfortable in doing whatever they do, in thinking the way they do, as long as it is within the law, that you are not castigated, that you are not hit on the head, that you are not maligned because you think different. Is that not the end state we want?
Yeah.
So there are those who will have to keep pushing the boundaries of the constrictions that are within our body politic until there is opening up and everybody keeps feeling comfortable with the people, whether they agree with him or not. Some people have to keep pushing that until we get there. Maybe they may be sacrificed along the way. That's okay. It happens. Fortunately, in politics, you'll be sacrificed politically. But in war, you die. They bury you. Life continues.
Yes, Since there are 3 hands, Charles, you be number 2, number 3, and we will end it there.
Thank you, General, and the team. My name is Charles Odom, I'm a journalist. I wanted some clarity on the issue of structure. One, are you going to open an office from where you were nominated?
Yes.
2, on the issue of I see you leading a big team. In fact, the spokesperson and the deputy spokesperson of FDC officially are all here. And I wonder who are going back to take the council from the FDC at
No.
I wanted to find out what is this entity General is leading, go back for the mobilization for LCs and against the NUP. So what are you calling it? Federation group, a coalition? What is this group called exactly? What is the
Which group?
The group that you're leading right now.
Defiance
We are
group.
We are
No.
Are you, where are you getting the funding from, General? Thank you.
There's no group here. We are all members of FDC because even on Friday we will be at Najana Nkumbi. So I don't see, when you go there for the handing over ceremony and the swearing in ceremony at the same time. But of course, it's clear that there are different tendencies within the organization, which to me would not be a problem. Actually, I don't think you'll find any party on this planet where you will not find different tendencies. Maybe only in Russia.
And China.
So the problem or the issue is not differences of opinion or differences in the different tendencies. I think the issue is how to manage them. If you manage them well, there won't be any problem. If they are not managed well, more so if, for example, you find there is intolerance, then it will generate conflict. Those are the things that we need to learn, we, the political actors. As if we cannot manage internal contradictions in the political organizations, how will we manage the internal contradictions in the country? So it is a task that we, all of us, have got to undertake as leaders who are in the political parties to ensure that we learn the skills to manage contradictions. Because they are natural, you cannot avoid them, you cannot escape them. You have to live with them. So we have to learn the skills on how to manage them. On funding, like in this last campaign, to be honest with you, I got, the campaign was really run by friends. A number of members of parliament made sacrifices beyond my own even understanding, whom I would like to thank heartily. But in terms of advancing the struggle for our rights and freedoms, I don't think it's only us. Even the other actors who are in the change process, we need to continue coordinating effort and raise resources from all over the world, those people who would want to see democratic governance in this country. So we will be part of those who would be seeking for those forms of funding to ensure that we inject those funds in preparing the change process.
No, the numbers, and that's where we'll stop. Sorry. You are number 2? Yeah. And then number 3.
General, I just want you to be clear on this. In your statement, I'm Ashraf Kasi, New Vision. In your statement after Power was declared president, you stated it clearly that you can't work in an environment where you are not trusted. So in these consultations, are you going to, first, are you going to move with only this team that, by the way, is it the only one that trusts you? Number 2, are you going to consult only the people that trust you, or what is it going to be?
One, let me correct you. If you recall correctly, I never said I cannot work in an environment. I hope you had someone who was taping, then you can listen to the tape. I never said that. I only said there seems to be there seems to be irreconcilable differences in terms of style, in terms of methods, and I said we will carry out consultations. Those are the ones we are going to carry out. So I didn't say I cannot work. So you need to correct that. Trust, yes, there are issues of trust, because I clearly asked the delegates, I said, today we must resolve the issue of trust, whether you trust me or you don't trust me. I have a feeling that the majority of them don't trust me, so I would have to see how to deal with that. It's part of the territory when you're in politics.
Now that's the last one. Okay. I think we are going to end it there. I am sorry we can't take all the questions because even where we are, we're supposed to be here for a period of time.
And two,
yeah.
These are colleagues whom we've been working with in the campaign, and they just came along with me for us to be able to express what we expressed today, because many colleagues are also going to be involved in this consultative process, so that at the end of it all, when we are making a decision, we make it as a joint decision, not as an individual decision. That's all. And when it comes to Katonga, I mean, no, to Najanankumbi, they are going to be active in Najanankumbi. They'll be there, working with the party. As to an office, well, now that I will have more time on my hands from party activities, I will have to try and set up a business office and try to do some businesses. So if any of you has an idea about a business, please advise me.
You need to do Uganda. I think we will do Uganda for a few minutes and then it will be done.
Sisobola kugisoma mu Luganda oba Apollo. They can distribute there too, or after.
Just like a small carton of
No, it's general.
Yes.
After this first
after the
this.
Luganda version.
The interview we wanted you tonight, do you have time?
We are traveling to Rwanda.
And you need to start Uganda.
Banyawe ne basewo mwebala okujja conference eno. Njagala kutwala omukisa guno okwebaza bannayuganda bonna abeenyigira mu kampeyini zaffe ezamaze emyezi 3 ezaggwa ennaku z'omwezi 24, n'okwebaza abannakibiina abakulembeze delegates bonna mu kiseera kyonna kye tubadde nga tuvuganyizaamu. Nga ate njagala okuddamu okuyozaayoza oba okukulusa Honorable Amuriat Oboy eyawangula akalulu ka FDC ennaku z'omwezi 24, gwengenda okuweereza ebisumuluzo by'ekibiina ku lunaku olwokutaano wiiki eno. Ate nga mbadde njagala kubuulira bannaffe bonna abali mu kibiina okukkakkana nga twagala tutambule mu ggwanga, tubuuze, tukubaganye ebirowoozo, tutegeere ensonga ezimu ezibaddewo munda y'ekibiina n'ezibaddewo mu kampeyini, tulabe oba ensonga ze tusobola okugonjoola, tulabewo engeri gye tusobola okuzigonjoolamu, n'okulaba oba waliko ezitagonjoolwa. Bwe ziba nga tezigonjoolwa, tutegeere kiki ekyokukola. Naye nga twagala kukola ekintu ekyo mu lwatu, mu ngeri ennungamu, nga nja kuba nga njogera ne party president mu kiseera kyonna kye tunaaba nga tuyiseemu nga tubuuliriza ensonga zino. Ndowooza ogenda okuggwa omwezi ogwa Desemba tujja kuba nga tutegedde bulungi kiki ekinaddako. Tujja kuba nga tubuulira abakulembeze b'ekibiina byonna bye tunaaba nga tukola, n'ebyo byonna ebinaaba nga bivuddemu tusigale nga twogera kubanga ne bwe mubanga mulina obutategeeragana tekitegeeza nti kibafuula ki abalabe kubanga obulwadde bwe tulina mu ggwanga lyaffe emyaka gino gyonna 54 bwe butabeera n'abakulembeze abayawula mu nsonga zino nti ne bwe mubanga temutegeeragana mu birowoozo oba mu nkola nti tekitegeeza nti kibafuula ki kibafuula balabe n'olwekyo eyo yenkola empya gye tuteeka okulaba ntuzimba mu bibiina byennyini bye tulimu kubanga ebibiina bwe biba nga bikutta obufuzi mu ggwanga bijja kuwa ebyo bye birina mu bibiina byennyini n'olwekyo kyekintu mu nkola kye twagala kusigala nga tukozesa oba nga tukulembeza ne bwe tuba nga tuwuliza mu nsonga zino ezitali nnyangu okulaba nti tusigala nga twogera nga tukolaganira wamu kubanga ne bwe tutuuka ekiseera ne tugamba nti buli muntu akwate ekkubo erirye tusigala mu ggwanga ffenna ng'Abannayuganda ate nga kyekikulu okulaba nti tubeera n'eggwanga eririmu eddembe eririmu obwenkanya eririmu okwenkana mu maaso g'amateeka erikulaakulana buli muntu yenna neyeenyumiriza mu ggwanga lye tetusaanira okujja amaaso gaffe ku kintu ekyo kubanga bwe tuba nga tukizimbye mu ggwanga ne bwebula pati ena eba ekizimbye bwe tubeera ne pati zebbiri esatu ezina endowooza n'enkola ey'ekika ekyo tujja kuba nga tutuuse ku mulamwa ng'eggwanga n'olwekyo tetujja kukola kintu kyonna bakiyita nkukutu mu nkukutu buli kintu kyonna tujja kuba nga tukikola mu lwatu n'olwekyo njagala ntwala omukisa guno okusaba abakulembeze ku levels zonna n'enjuyi zonna ne bwe tuba nga twogera nga tuyitamu ebyo bye tuyiseemu temukubagana kubanga tekirimu makulu tuteekwa okulaba engeri gye tukolamu enkola empya gye tuzimba mu ggwanga lyaffe ne muba nga temukkirizaganya musigale nga mwekaanya ku nsonga okutuusa lwe mukola ki lwe mugigonjoola mwebale nnyo bassebo ne bannyabo katonda abakuume
ebibuuzo we can't repeat questions guys
muki ate nga ekikulu kye twagala kusigala nga tukola kubanga ebiseera bino eby'emyezi 3 bya kampeyini tebyatuleka na bbanga erimala okulaba nti twenyigira mu lutalo olw'okulemesa General Museveni okukyusa etteeka 102B kati nga bwe tuzimaze kampeyini tugenda kwenyigiramu nnyo okulaba nti tumulemesa kubanga bwe tuba nga tumulemesezza okukyusa etteeka eryo ng'ayita mu palamenti nga tukozesa n'emikutu emirala kijja kuba nga kituyambye ng'eggwanga ate n'ekirala tugenda kukunga abantu mu ggwanga lyonna okulaba nti twenyigira mu kulonda obukiiko obwa LC1 n'obw'abakyala kubanga emirandira gya gavumenti eno eyanakyemalira eri wansi eri okulaba nti tumumala amaanyi tuteekwa okumukutula wansi ku levels eza wansi at the grassroots level oba ku byalo ku miruka ne ku magombolola n'olwekyo nakyekyo kye tugenda okuteekamu amaanyi gaffe n'ebirowoozo byaffe okulaba nti tukola shift wansi okulaba nti LCs n'obukiiko obw'abakyala ffe abakkiriza mu nkyukakyuka tutwale ne majority.
General, President omupya yagambye nti akwagala osigale mu kibiina ng'omubi w'amagezi era naawe yogeddeko nti wano waliwo akakiiko
kanso twagiyisaamu eri mu constitution yaffe ekizibu ekiro nti baali bagamba nti erondebwe ne tutusanga nti tekirimu makulu ne tukyusa ekyo nti teyita mu kalulu batola ne baki nomination okuba baba simanyi appointing babalonde and then voting it should not be tebayita mu kubakubira kalulu naye nga babalonda ekibiina nga kibalonda naye nga waliko n'ebifo ebimu kyenzijjukira nga party president by virtue awo ng'osobola okubeera mu kakiiko ako kirungi okubeera n'abantu abakulu abalina experience ne babeera nga baadvisinga ki ekibiina.
Tulaba nti wabaddewo omukulembeze w'ekibiina kino ne baddengayo enjuyi ezimu nga ziba kampenizi ezimu obukulembezeewo naawe osazeewo okole kampeni zolomozi todifayiza ekibiina naye nga naawe okusabiriyo naye tulabye ebisabiri nga poliisi ebagana n'enjuyi ziri omulundi guno guwedde siteesewo tya okwanganga poliisi just in case okukola kyebadde okola munywanyi ow'ekatonda
katufune n'ekino tumalire eddala lumu. Yes.
Office no office tejja kuba ya bya bufuzi. Office ndowooza nja kuteekako office nga yakola business naye ekyananka ekya abantu obutannesiga sina kyakukikolera ekyo. Obudde bwe bulikola ki bwe buliraga bwe buliramula kubanga badde pulezidenti w'ekibiina okumala emyaka 5 nga waliko abalwanye egyo emyaka gyonna 5 n'ekinsanyusa nnyo olwokutaano ngenda kukwasa ekibiina Honorable Amuriat Oboy nga kiri bumu. That's very important. Tekitegeeza nti tekuliko ababadde nga tebanesiga oba tekitegeeza nti tekuliko ababadde banwanyisa naye ekibiina kiri ki intact. Ngenda kukimukwasa mu ngalo nga kiri intact. Bw'abuuza nga muwabula sina problem nakyo. Bw'aba abuuziza sina problem.
Tweyanziza tugenda komaawo please. Olwayo tugenda komaawo tujja kuddamu tuwuliziganye. Njala nnyo okubeebaza obudde bwe mutuwadde.
Ningefanyia tu hapo mara moja
swali yangu mbona